Okay, so today is Tuesday, October the 14th, 2025. And I got beat up in the markets today. The markets beat me up. Majority of the ass whooping is my fault. So I had to change my trading hours. Therefore, I had to change my instrument. All right, so initially I was trading the NASDAQ from about 9:30 to 10:30 to 11 o'clock, only taking 3 trades. Last week was a really rough week for me, not in regards to trading, but I had a lot of things going on. They weren't bad. They just had me really, really occupied and busy and disrupted my trading cycle, right? So it just threw things off. And then with different hours at my job, now I have to trade early in the morning. So because of that, I started trading crude oil. I like the way that it moves. Um, in the London session, opens up about 3 o'clock. Yeah, that's the London session, about 3 to, I think it's 3 to 9, something like that. So I traded that today. Today was really my first day trading it. I took 2 small trades Sunday when the market opened up at 6 p.m. only because I was working on using a tool that was on TradingView just to see. I took 2 small trades really quick just to see how the tool works in live trading. So that wasn't any real trades. So anyway, today was the day that I actually traded for real. And I came into the market not with a lot of rules today. I just wanted to get some reps in with real money. And I had an idea. I still have a framework for my trading strategy. I had it modified a little bit because I'm trading a different instrument at a different time. But I like the way crude oil moves. I like the way that crude oil respects support and resistance. The moves are large enough for me to make some profit early in the morning. The NASDAQ does move sometime early in the morning, but in my opinion, not as much as crude. So today I took 8 trades. Let's see how many I won and lost. Oh, I got smoked. Yeah, that's right. I won 1 trade and lost 7 trades. I was in profit on several trades. However, I want to get in the habit of not just seeing profit, then taking profit. I want to hold to my take profit, my target, or at least close to it within reason. And I'm still figuring out and getting the feel of how crude moves. So I have a general idea, a general feel for it, but it's still going to take some time, some practice for me to get situated and acclimated to it wholeheartedly and become pretty much in tune with crude oil. So I'm only trading one ticker, and that's crude, and I trade a 5-minute time frame, and I enter on a 30-second time frame. So as you can see here, I lost $427 today. Cool. Just want to show you guys that I'm being honest. All right. I'm not gonna be on here once I become profitable and just show you or make it seem like you're not going to take any losses. So you can see from the beginning how many losses I've been taking. And then when I become more profitable, more consistent, and become a better trader, then you can see the difference. So let's take it to the charts. Okay. So I'm not going to go over every single trade. All of these trades aren't important. This first one here is important. This red candle with this red arrow on top, I entered here by mistake, which would have been the best trade of the day if I would have stayed in. However, I entered my trade without a bracket order. If you're not familiar with what a bracket order is, it's when you enter a trade and you already have a take profit and a stop loss attached to the trade. That's how I always enter my trades. I didn't have that, and it was a mistake in the first place because I came to the market about 2:30 this morning, and this is at 3:20. So still waking up. Right. Next time I'm probably going to do some jumping jacks or something to make sure my blood is flowing. However, I had my cursor hovering over the top of my sell button for me to get in, and I pushed it by mistake. And I'm like, oh man. So instead of just staying in and gambling, I got out of it. Of course, hindsight, I wish I would have stayed in it. So I got out of it with a less than the tick. So I lost $3 on that one, which was a good trade because if I were to stay in it, because I was looking at the way that price was pushing down. It rejected previously here at about 1205 from the 200-day EMA. A lot of times the 200-day EMA or even the 20 EMA act as resistance or support. When I initially came into the market, I saw that price was on a decline, and I saw what I feel was a good entry when price is already declining. If you can see, these two green candles happen right after this red candle, this 5-minute candle after the open. So price pushes down, it pulled back slightly with these two green candles, and then this large power bar. And that power bar came in at 320. So this red power bar erased these two green pullback candles. Now, initially I was going to enter, I was thinking about entering right at the bottom of this green candle here, where the wick was. So I drew this little yellow square, I don't know if you can see it, rectangle. And that was going to be my support. If it broke that, then I was going to take it down. However, I still wasn't 100% sure. I wasn't that confident in the trade because I'm still getting used to crude oil. And then I had my finger over top of it, considering it, and then I pushed it, but then my bracket order wasn't in. So anyway, I got out of it. So I took a loss on that trade. Then the second trade was this one here, this other smiley face over top of, let's move it down so you can see exactly. I got in on this green candle. I saw the price started to stop in this particular area, and the bodies of these three candles all stopped at this particular level, and they wicked down past that level but came back up to it. So I said, okay, here we see a level of support. Moving to the left, I didn't really see any previous support. However, me watching crude oil before knows that some days crude oil likes to just trend, but other days it likes to pivot, right? It likes to change direction. So I thought this possibly could have been one of those directions, or one of those times where it did change direction, at least for a little while, enough for me to make at least a 1 to 3 or 1 to 4. However, it didn't. So I entered here, got out here, and I made like less than half of a tick. So I won like $3 or something like that. But I got out because I just didn't have confidence in the trade in the first place. Like, even during the trade, I feel like that was a rush move for me to enter that trade because it was still underneath the 20 EMA, which is my yellow dotted line here, and it was still declining, right? It was on a decline. So I said, you know what? I'm going against the trend, and the trend is already pretty powerful. So I didn't really have faith in that, so I got out of it. Then these other two trades here, I don't know what I was thinking at all. This one here, where the smiley face is, I got in here and got out of here. I don't even know what I was thinking, honestly. I think I had some support here, and no, I had resistance up above here. And so I said, you know what? I seen price couldn't go any higher, so I figured it has to go lower. So I entered here, price went down. The next candle, it went up. I said, man, that don't even make any sense. So I got out of that one. Then I got back into another one going down. Right? I thought it was, no, going up. I felt that maybe I found support here. Right? It showed me, for the most part, on the 5-minute, that we found support here. So at this candle, we found support right here. This previous candle, we found support. You can see the red wick. It wicked there on that line. It came back and tested it. So this trade here was based off of the fact that price hit this resistance up above. I felt it was going to go down. However, if you look over to the left, this candle here found support. The candle that I entered at 58.08, right, I thought it was probably going to go down because the trend was down. But however, it found rejection at that same support. So I saw that, and on the next candle, I just let it take me out. These weren't trades that I should have even attempted to take. They weren't good trades. They didn't have second confirmation, right? They just didn't line up with any ideas of the trade I wanted to take or the perimeters of my trading strategy that I'm still building out. And I won't have that finalized until I get a little bit more data. I have some frameworks within my trading strategy. I'm adding to it and taking away as over the next 30 to 60 days, most likely as I get more data. So these were two dumb trades. I don't know what I was thinking. And then the next 1, 2, 3 trades, they just weren't good trades. This one was a pretty solid trade. This one is kind of what I was looking for. This trade right here. Now on this trade, I seen the price started to slow down and it found its bottom, at least in my eyes. And on the 30-second time frame, this is it right here. So the bottom on the 5-minute here to the left, that is this chart on the left, you see price started to reject in a V formation. However, on the 30-second time frame, right, let me show you, that same formation that found its bottom in the V formation was a double bottom here. So I took that, I was waiting for it to cross over this 200 EMA on the 32nd. It did, I entered. Price went up, came back down to the 200 EMA. I got nervous and it was pretty much it was right at my entry point. I moved my stop loss up too quick and price came back and stopped me out. And then price went on to rise further, which I at least could have probably got like a 1 to 4 or something like that, I think. So that was that trade. Anyway, I took too many trades. All right, I'm even getting confused because I took too many. So the rest of the trades really aren't important. Those are the main trades that I wanted to talk to you guys about and show you guys. And also post my videos like I said I was going to do. My goal is to update my videos every time I trade in the market to keep a record of the history of my trades and also just build a community eventually and also help other traders see me go from unprofitable to becoming a profitable trader.